What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon One, the Village Storyteller, man. And I'm back again, man. I know they don't come as every day like they supposed to, but now they gonna come, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is one right here, man. A lot of people gonna be like, oh man, oh, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, I'm not finna give it to you, friend. You know what I'm saying? Too much, cause y'all smart. Y'all smart. Y'all been to figure the story out before I even got to the story real good for y'all. So, with no further ado, I'm gonna jump straight into it, man. Man, we going to a little house on the east side of the city that we're in. Now I'm gonna leave it up to you to make it whatever city, you know what I'm saying? I don't really like to put it in no certain type place because like say if I put it in a certain place such as Los Angeles, you're gonna look for hear me say the names of certain gangs. And with this on the Village Storyteller, I don't do that. Now I speak about a lot of gangs, but I try not to make it Crip or Blood and put no certain name on whatever it is. Of course, I tell you that the people do be gang related, but I'm gonna leave it up to you and your imagination to make them whatever you want to make them, put them in whatever predicament you choose you want to put them in. It's just for me to convey the story to you in a relevant, timely manner. It's just me tripping, y'all. But anyway, here it is. Um, put you in a city, man, and put you in a house, man. Put you in a house, man. You know, you had a hard working mother. She went to work every day, you know what I'm saying, to raise her three kids. She had two sons and a daughter. Now, of course, as you know, things went back then, typical black household, mother, kids, no father. It is what it is. Huh. But anyway, in the area where she was at, it was very gang related. Very gang related. I'm talking about really from her house alone, where it said it was like ground zero. You could walk outside into the middle of the street and walk 4 blocks in any direction and probably be in a different neighborhood. Her two sons were both part of rival gangs. Both part of rival gangs. And for the life of her, she could not understand this. She did not understand why her sons were always fighting, tearing up the house. Year after year of this, coming up, they just getting into it, they getting into it, they getting into it. And so finally, she realized as time went on and time went on, things were getting more volatile, and she realized, okay, both her sons were gang related, and both of them was for different gangs that did not get along with each other, period. Now, she would sit around and she would think, she would contemplate, why would they even become part of different gangs that don't get along? She didn't want her sons to be gang related, period. But now, when she started wrapping her head around it, trying to get a grasp on it, trying to understand it more, so she could try to communicate with her children about what was going on, that's when she started realizing, why would one be from here and the other one be from there? You know what I'm saying? And she started thinking, like, wondering, what did the future hold for her daughter? Would her daughter join a gang? If so, which one would she join? If she did join one or the other, would whatever brother was a part of that gang, would she join his side and pit herself against her other brother? All these were things that her mother was thinking about. You know what I'm saying? But now the daughter was sweet. Now one boy was 17, one boy was 18. They were just 1 year apart, really just 11 months apart, something like that. But anyway, the daughter was beautiful. Went to school, straight A student. She wanted to be a doctor when she got older. She would always tell her mother, "Mama, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. I want to, do so with myself." She would sometimes late at night talk to her mother and tell her mother, "Mama, if anything was to happen to one of my brothers, when I become a doctor, I want to be able to fix them in case something goes wrong." And her mother would just look at her with tears in her eyes and say, "Baby, that's sweet. You know what I'm saying? I love you for thinking that way. You're beautiful. And she was like, yeah, mama, I love you and I love both my brothers. I wish they wouldn't fight so much. I just, it makes me sad when they fight all the time, mama. And her mother told her, she said, baby, I know. But we just gonna have to, bear with it and hope that eventually one day that they stop the foolishness. Cool. One of the mother's biggest fear was that one of her sons would hurt the other one or that they would hurt each other. But what she didn't know is that it was very, very dangerous, even in the streets. One of the brothers, who was very, very careless, very reckless, very wild, he really, really did not care nothing about his other brother because his other brother was from an enemy set. To the point to where they had even shot at each other on several occasions. On several occasions. And the mother just had no idea why one day when one son came home and the other one stayed gone for like 2-3 days. When she finally caught up with the other son, she like, boy, where you been at? Why you haven't come home? What's going on with you? And, he played it all, mama, I'm all right, what I'm saying, I'm going to come home. But little did she know, the other son that stayed gone, he didn't want to come home. Because he had shot at his brother and his homeboys one day. And he thought he hit his brother, but now he didn't. But now he did hit one of his brother's homeboys. But now with him thinking he hit his brother, he just didn't want to come home and see his mother's face in case the boo-boo hit the fan. Eventually found out that his brother wasn't hit, was still around. Cool. They fought at the house all the time like cats and dogs. Oh man, I'm talking about to the point to where one time the mother thought she was gonna have to call the police on them. She didn't want to put neither one of them out. She didn't want to put neither one of them out, man. But she also didn't want to have to turn around and put both of them out. But it was getting so volatile at the house, it was getting so wild, she had to think about her daughter. She had to think about the well-being of her daughter. Her daughter was not going down the path of that type foolishness. So she had to think about her daughter. So anyway, time goes on. The brothers squared off one day in the streets. It was at the high school. Now, one of the brothers was still in school. The other brother had graduated the year before. But like I say, they were just, 11 months apart. One day, the oldest brother, he came up to the high school with 5 of his homeboys. Now, of course, knowing it's going to get out because the high school that he came up to belonged to the set that his younger brother was from. And they knew once they went up there and once word spread around, once word got around the campus that, they gang was up there at the school. Everybody that was from the opposition gang was going to come out of class, come off the PE field, come out the art, whatever. They coming, to get at the intruders, the enemies. Anyway, and that's just how it happened. Man, they got down, they was on the yard fighting. Now, the oldest brother and his homeboys, they came up there because one of their homeboys the day before had got jumped after school. He didn't go to that school, but he was up there. And the boys that ran that school, they ended up jumping on him. So anyway, they came back the next day for retaliation. They didn't have no weapons, though. They had no gun. They didn't have no gun, at least. When they hopped the back gate, they come on in and they posted up on the PE field. Word got around school, hey man, such and such up here. So dudes went to running from class to class. Hey homie, come on. Many fools up here, many fools up here. So they like, all right, cool. So now, the oldest brother and his homeboys, they came 5 deep. When they looked up, it was about 17 or 18 of his younger brother's homeboys coming across the grass. They got down for their grits and gravy. They fought. They fought hard. They fought like cats and dogs. They fought. Boom, 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 bam, boom, bam. Now the two brothers, they didn't go at each other. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was by choice or not, they didn't fight each other. But the oldest brother got knocked to the ground. Like I say, they was outnumbered, man, 2-1, 17 against 5. The oldest brother got knocked to the ground, and he was getting stomped out by 3 dudes. Now his younger brother stood there and watched. He stood there. Now he didn't get in to participate, but he didn't do nothing to stop it. His brother was getting dogged out, was getting mopped, was getting dog walked, getting drunk like a Pepsi. Boop, bop, boop, bop, bang, boom, bow. Stomp game in effect. Okay, somebody hollered, man, the police. But when they said the police, because the school security was coming. But they hollered, police, police. So now the younger brother and his homeboys, they ran off. Some of them hopped the gate, ran the other way, but they got on. So now the older brother and his little 4-5 little homeboys, they end up getting on too. Now the older brother, he was whooped good. He was whooped kind of good. He was hot. He was mad. He had already made his mind up, man. When the younger brother came home that night or that day or whenever he seen him again, he was gonna put them paws on his jaws. You feel what I'm saying? He wanted to touch him. He wanted to feel him. You know, he wanted to like let him know. Boom. So the rest of that day goes on. The oldest brother was at the house, the sister was at the house, and the mother was at the house. And so the mother was going to leave and go over her sister's house, which would have been their auntie. And she told the older brother, she said, look, I don't want y'all to do nothing wrong, do nothing crazy. When your younger brother come home, don't y'all start fighting. Don't y'all do none of y'all keep that gang stuff in the streets. Don't come here tearing my house up, doing nothing. So he was like, yeah, all right, mama. Okay, cool. But now in his mind, he wasn't studying what she was talking about. He couldn't wait to see his younger brother. The mother eventually left. Him and the sister, they got along real good. The sister got along perfectly with both of her brothers. And they sitting there talking. The older brother, they was upstairs. The older brother heard the door, and he stopped and listened. He heard the younger brother coming in. So he stood up and stopped talking to his sister about whatever they was talking about. And he went in the room. So now the sister could tell from his body language that he was finna be some mess. So she ran down the stairs to try to get a word in to her younger brother. So when she ran up on him, she like, look. You know, he's upstairs and he's mad. What happened? Anything happened today? So the younger brother told her, like, yeah, he got stomped out. He got beat down. My homeboy put hands on that clown. You know what I'm saying? F him. So she was like, look, just leave or don't go upstairs because he up there tripping. It looked like he finna trip. So the younger brother, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't barring the curb. He didn't care nothing about nothing. He like, man, I don't care nothing about him being mad, so what? He shouldn't have joined they punk ASS set. He ended up going up the stairs. So he was finna proceed to his room when the older brother came out the room. And the older brother, he started talking crazy. Yeah, man, your punk ASS homeboys put feet on me today. Yeah, they put feet on me today. So the younger brother told me, like, shoot, that's what you get, fool. You know what I'm saying? This such and such. So the older brother like, man, F y'all, man, F this and F that. So the younger brother told him, F this and F that. That's why you got stomped out. Of course, one word led to another. Wow. They thumping. Man, they thumping. They tearing the upstairs hallway up. Boom. Man, they fighting. The sister, man, the little sister, she run up the stairs and she's screaming, stop. They making so much noise that the neighbor end up calling the mother. And when the neighbors got her on the phone, the neighbors told her, like, look, I don't know what's going on in y'all house, But it's a bunch of racket. It sound like the world coming to end. It's a bunch of stuff. Sound like it's breaking. And I think them boys over there fighting real hard again. You might want to come home and see about them. So the mother was like, "Oh my God, let me hurry and get on." She told her sister, "Look, let me go. They over there fighting again." So the sister was like, "Look, I don't know what you gonna do with them two. One of them got to go, or either both of them got to go. But something got to give, for they just mess everything up at your house." So she was like, "I know, I know, I know." So she's on her way home. Anyway, back to the house, man. They up the stairs fighting. So one of the brothers, the oldest brother, end up hitting the youngest brother in the head with an iron. Bam! When he hit him in the head with the iron, it dazed him, but it cut him too. Had a little gash on his head. But now when he shook it off, he rushed his brother. Boom, 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 boom. They fighting. They tussling. They got each other. They tumbling upstairs. So the sister, she's sitting there screaming at the top of her lungs, "Please stop. Stop. Please, please. Y'all quit it. Stop. Please. Please." They not hearing her. They not hearing her. The hate that they had for each other was so intense that they couldn't hear. So they fighting, coming back down the hallway of the upstairs, and the sister ran up and tried to grab both of them. But from the force of them fighting and going at it, as soon as she ran up on them, they bumped her and hit her in the chest. Boom! When they hit her in the chest, she stumbled back. When she stumbled back, her back of her heel caught on the carpet at the top of the stairs, and it flipped her. She went back head first down the flight of stairs. Boom, 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 boom. She hollered, "Ah!" Boom, 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 boom. When she stopped tumbling, she was at the bottom of the stairs with her head going one way, her body going another way, and it seemed like her arms and legs were going in whatever direction they so chose to go into. But she wasn't moving. She wasn't moving. The brothers immediately stopped fighting and they looked. And they stood at the top of the stairs and they just looking. Before they could even make it down the stairs to see what was up with their sister, the front door opened up. When the front door opened up, their mother came through the door. And the first thing she seen was her daughter's lifeless body at the bottom of the stairs, twisted and bent all up like a Stretch Armstrong doll. She looked at her daughter and she hollered, "Ah!" And she ran to her daughter. She cradled her in her arms and tried to find out if she was asleep, knocked out, or really something was wrong. That's when she realized her daughter was dead. She stood up and she looked down at her daughter. And she just screamed at the top of her lungs, a piercing scream. A wailing scream. And it seemed like the scream lasted for 5 minutes. Of course it didn't, but it seemed like that. And when she stopped screaming, she looked down at her daughter and she passed out. She fainted. Boom. Laid on the ground right next to her daughter. Passed out. Both the brothers standing up there, looked side by side, shoulder to shoulder. And they looking down at their mother and their sister. And they turned. And they looked at each other. They turned and they looked at each other. What more can I say? What more can I do? I'm going to let y'all finish that one in your head. I know it's a lot of y'all saying, "Man, come on, Toon, man. Part 2. Man, give us this." No, ain't no part 2. I'm going to let y'all finish that one in your head. Peace. I'm out.